Good morning to you all. Brenda here again with two pairs of glasses. One will be enough. Okay, so this morning we're going to make this card. Confession again, it's just a photo because the original went off to Chandra. I'm going to have to get my act together and make them a bit quicker while I've still got the sample here, because I don't always remember exactly what I did, but I think I'm okay with this because it was only last month, so we should be okay. I'm going to use a collection of stamps. This beautiful rose comes from Floral Perfumery, Chocolate Block Baroque, obviously. All of these are Chocolate Baroque. It's a gorgeous set, that one. The berries come from Autumn Poppy. The sentiment, Friendship Gives Wings to the Heart, is from Pretty Poppies, but I've only used part of it. I've masked off Friendship Gives because I've added the word love in there, a die cut, which tattered lace one, I believe. I've got about 4 layers of pink and slightly offset it against a black one. I didn't actually do the black offset on that one, but I'm going to this time. So I felt Love Gives Wings to the Heart works quite nicely. And a couple of worker stamps. This one from Freedom Flower, just like a little grid that I put there. And some letters and numbers. I find letters and numbers very pleasing on backgrounds. They come from Edgy Edges. Okay, I'm going to as usual use Chocolate Block drawing cartridge. This piece is 19.5 by 13.5 because the original card was an A5, although for whatever reason I can't get a photo that size, hence they look an awful lot larger than what they are on the card. Okay, so I'll start with the background using acetate as per usual, and I'm going to use Tattered Rose and Pumice Stone Distress Oxides and Evergreen Bough for the stenciling in the middle. They're both very soft and subtle colours. I don't want the background too heavy and strong. Oh, Bramble's having a little bark. Can you hear her? She's not a happy camper this morning because she's been put in the conservatory because furniture's being moved about. Our daughter, who lives right next door, although we won't be spending Christmas with them even though she is next door, because her and her daughter and son are all teachers, and that one speaks for itself. So no, we won't be having Christmas together, but their conservatory borders on to my craft room, so we can hear Bramble. And they're putting their house back to right after the flood they had way back in July, when we had all that flooding, and it's taken this long for the insurance company to get it all sorted. It's been forever. So hence Bramble's been put in the conservatory so she doesn't drive them all crazy. Okay, give that a quick blast. Now the Tattered Rose. I don't want too much colour on there because I'm going to colour in the flowers, and as I'm not a colourist, it won't be with alcohol inks or anything. It'll be with distress markers, so obviously I don't want it too dark in the background because I won't be able to mask it over enough. The stencil I'm going to use is a number 1 because I felt it will complement one of the stamps I'm going to use in the background. I have no idea the make of this. I've had it donkey's years. Well, I don't know about donkey's years, but I've had it quite a while. So if masks have been about around donkey's years, probably not. I'm going to try putting it on with one of these little gizmos that I bought. I got this bundle of don't know what you call them, ink applicators. I've seen lots of people using them, so these were on Amazon for about £10 for 10, so I thought they had to be worth a go. I've only used them once or twice. You can see most of them are unused here, but they're not a sponge. They're like, I don't know if you can see that, they're like little bristles in there. So I thought they had to be worth a try. Years ago we used to use something like this, and they had removable sponges on them, but jury's still out. I don't know yet. I haven't used them enough, but they do seem like you can apply it as like you know, give them a light covering if you want, or go in a bit heavier if you want to. I don't get on terribly well with the long stencil brushes. I'm not a big fan of those. I do use them occasionally, but they're not my favourite method of adding ink through a stencil. It's all a personal preference, I know. That's enough. It's just a hint of a bit of colour there that will carry through the colour I'm using on the flowers. Right, I'm going to use a stamp platform now. Give it a little rub with an anti-stack bag. I'll move that over, so I'm going to put one down this corner and another one about there. Take it across a little bit, I think. Right. Put that probably about there. And I'm going to use VersaFine Onyx Black for that stamping. Sure, I've got a good application on it. Give it a good press, keep the pressure on it for a few seconds, because you want the ink to suck in, and as you're getting through a layer of ink to get to the base piece, that piece of card, so allow it to suck it through. There we are. I'm going to get it just a little bit more, just a little bit there. I haven't quite caught. That's better. Okay, let's give that a little wipe. Okay, bring that in about there, I think. Does not look quite right to me. Got it the wrong way round. Let's try that. It's a bit upside down. I don't know if it was. I know it's back to front, but maybe. Yep, that's okay. Right, I'll bring the piece down and then put the berries on while I've got it in the stamp platform. I'm going to put them about there. I've used this berry stamp so many times because it will do for any time of the year. Just change the colour to red and you've got Christmas berries, pink, you've got spring berries, a little bit more there. Sorry, apologies, I'm so fanatical about wiping everything down afterwards. OCD. Right. Bring those little grids in and just put them there. I'm going to put 2 like that. Look straight-ish. Yep. And I'm going to take that in slightly so it just offset. Yep, there we go. Nothing on that, doesn't need more. I'm not going to use a stamp platform for the numbers because I'd rather put that on randomly where I want it. Okay. I'm not altogether sure what colour I put those on with, but I think I'm going to try the pumice stone. Ink it like that, and I'm literally going to hold it like that. Yep. Just a very soft, subtle hint of the numbers, but it carries through from the numbers we've got there. Okay. Well, I had the stamp platform, I should have actually done the sentiment. I'm going to do it with the stamp platform because I want a little bit more control because I'm going to mask it. So just an old piece of black, which I'm most definitely going to go over with the anti-stat bag. It doesn't matter terribly about getting it straight because I'm going to tear it, as you can see. I'm going to use a little bit of masking tape. Sometimes I'll use a post-it note, but when you're trying to do a very small area, post-it notes seem to float around. So I'm going to use masking tape to keep it more secure, and I'm going to use Versamark and a detail white embossing powder, of which I need some more by the look of it. Right around those edges. I know it's clear, and you can just wipe the embossing powder off if you get it in the wrong place, but it helps if you start off as you need to go on. Less faff. Right, okay. Well, that's very good. A little bit of white floating around there despite using the anti-stat. That's okay. I'm going to start heating from underneath because as it's white on black, it'll scatter about if you're not careful, and then you'll have horrible little white speckles everywhere, and then I'll be starting all over again. And if you heat from underneath, it's particularly good to heat with gold from underneath. You get a much smoother finish. If you heat from on top, you get more of a irregular finish. And if you can see that, it's nice and smooth. And I've still got a few white bits floating. But the blue. Right. colour before I tear it out. Right, for colouring I'm going to use distress markers, Tattered Rose, the same as pink on the background, Mowed Lawn and Peeled Paint. Okay, and literally I'm going to do it very, very quickly, simply like this. As you know, I'm not a colourist, so I'm not going to try teach anybody to suck eggs with colouring mediums. Heaven forbid, I wouldn't even go there. I'll be as quick as I can. I know so many people tell me colouring in is therapeutic. I'm not questioning it, probably is, but I just find it frustrating. I get far more pleasure out of slopping ink around or paint on a background. And I'm going to colour all of these in like this. And this hasn't got a great deal of going for it, has it? It really hasn't. I'm sure these don't have the volume of painting that they used to. They seem to run out really quickly now. And they're so expensive now. About £3, £3.20 each, depending where you get it from. If I can find a nice similar soft colour, I'm going to go in, it's a peachy colour, I'm going to go in with a sparkle pen. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It's not quite the same colour, I'm afraid, but not enough left in that to get around these flowers, I don't think. This is a, what colour is it? Rose quartz. It's a one of the sparkle pens. You can get over the image a lot quicker as well. I actually use sparkle pens for colouring in quite a lot. I find with the clear blender that comes with them, I can get a little bit of blendability there, a little bit of shading and definition there, which I just can't normally with my normal colouring mediums. And even with, I've got a lovely set of intense pencils, beautiful box set with about, I don't know, 100 or so in it, but no, it doesn't work for me. That colour is slightly different to the berries. You're going to have to bear with me, but you know why that is, don't you? Okay. This doesn't look a lot better, does it? I'm honestly not going to bore you with all this colouring in because it will drive you to distraction. You know where we're aiming, so you can do a much better job than I can on this, I know. I'm going to tear into the sentiment. I'm just going to go around it like this. You can, depending which way you want the core, you can tear against the grain or in the other direction. If you go the other way, you see you get the difference. So choice is yours. I should put that in the middle there. Sentiment about there. Into the base card. There we are. Okay, and not a completely finished card, but You can see where we've come from and where we're going. And I actually, on that one, I think I put a little bit of washi tape on, so I will do that. As I'm not going to colour it all in, I'll just put the washi tape on so you can see. I think this is an All and Create one, probably. Tear it along like that. It's quite a nice one, it's got a script on it. So a little bit more. Very difficult to know which way that. I think that might wake me up. I'll put that on there. There we are. Yeah. Friendship gives wings to the heart. No, it doesn't. Love gives wings to the heart, because we masked out friendship gives, didn't we? But equally, you could do that if you wanted to, and use the whole of the sentiment stamp, or of course use any sentiment you fancy. Okay, thanks for looking, everybody. Bye bye.